about plant tissue types. But before going to see the types of the plant tissue, just see what are the tissues which are present in the plant. So tissue is, in general, it is generally considered as a tissue is a group of cells. Okay, and what is cell? A structural and functional unit of life is generally considered as a cell. Okay, just go some details about cell. So what is cell? Cell is a unit mass of a living substance delimited by selectively permeable membrane and capable of growth and reproduction. Okay, cell is present in the living organism, and if you see a character of living organism, then every living organism shows the growth as well as it shows a character of reproduction. It reproduces the same type of a individual. So growth and reproduction are the two characters. Second thing, a unit mass of a living substance. What is a living substance? Which is called as a protoplasm. What is protoplasm? Protoplasm is nothing but a cytoplasm plus cell organelles. Okay, so cytoplasm, which is present within a cell, which is a generally viscous substance, and cell organelles, different types of the cell organelles present within a cell. Okay, if you see this one as a plant cell, then just see the different parts of the cell. This is a cell wall. Okay, the outermost boundary present within a plant cell is a cell wall. After cell wall, there is a presence of a plasma membrane. Okay, this plasma membrane is also called as a cell membrane. In animal cell, cell membrane is the outermost boundary, while in plant cell, this cell membrane is again enveloped by means of the cell wall. Just say about the plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmatas are nothing but these are minute pores present on the primary cell wall. Okay, and this plasmodesmata functions for inward or outward movement of the cell constituent, adjacent cell constituent. Okay, then this one is a nucleus. The nucleus is covered by means of this nuclear membrane. Okay, so this one is a nuclear envelope. This nuclear envelope encloses a fluid which is called as a nucleoplasm. Within the nucleoplasm, thread-like structures are present which at the time of cell division become condensed and produces the chromosome, that one called as a chromatin material. Not only chromatin material present, but also the nucleolus is also present within the nucleus. This nucleus also possesses minute pores, and these minute pores are called as a nuclear pore. So nucleus, which is usually seen within a cell, this one is a nucleus, but this nucleus possesses the nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane encloses the nucleoplasm. Within nucleoplasm, chromatin material as well as nucleolus is present, as well as on the nuclear membrane minute pores present, and they are called as a nuclear pore. Then the presence of the endoplasmic reticulum. These are the endoplasmic reticulum. There are two kinds of the endoplasmic reticulum. One is a rough endoplasmic reticulum and another one is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Only the difference between them is that this possesses the ribosomes on their surface, while here ribosomes are absent. So these are the endoplasmic reticulum. Along with this endoplasmic reticulum, the protein factories which are called as the ribosomes are also present. A photosynthetic equipment which is called as a chloroplast is also present within the cytoplasm. This entire content is called as a cytoplasm. Then the lysosomes are also present within a cytoplasm. This primary lysosomes actually contains the digestive type of the enzyme. Then mitochondria is present. Mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell as it involves in a process of respiration. Vacuoles are also present within a cytoplasm. Then peroxisome, which destroys the hydrogen peroxide reaction within a cell. Then minute vesicles are present. These are the Golgi complexes. Okay, so this one is actually the cell. Then what is cell? This cell is a unit mass of a living substance. Okay, so this is a living substance. Okay, what is living substance? Cytoplasm plus cell organelles. Okay, which are the cell organelles? Here, nucleus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, lysosome, ribosome, all these are the cell organelles, and these cell organelles are suspended within a cytoplasm, and this one is considered as a protoplasm. So unit mass of a living substance, that means protoplasm, delimited by selectively permeable membrane. Which is a permeable membrane? Here cell membrane is a permeable membrane, as it allows inward and outward movement of the cell constituent. Okay, so unit mass of a living substance delimited by selectively permeable membrane and capable of growth and reproduction is called as a cell. Okay, and what is tissue? Group of such a type of a cell, it is called as a tissue. Okay, go detail about the tissue. What is tissue? Tissue is a group of organized cells, with common origin and function and similar or different in structure. So tissue is a group of organized cells, okay, group of organized cells, and these cells have common origin as well as function, but structurally they may be similar or may be different. See another one definition: tissue is a group of cells with similar origin and function and having similar or dissimilar structure is called as a tissue. Okay, then what is tissue? Tissue is a group of cells which have a common origin and function, but structurally they may be similar or may be different one. Okay, just about the classification of a plant tissue. Plant tissue can be classified into two categories. And what is the base of forming two category? Based on the divisional power, how the cells divides and redivides. So based on divisional power, the plant tissue divided into two groups. First one group is a meristematic tissue and another one is called as a permanent tissue. Then what is the difference between meristematic tissue and permanent tissue? Meristematic tissues are those tissues, okay, which remain in active state of division throughout its life. Which are meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissues have a power of division, while permanent tissues, which are the permanent tissues? The tissues that have not power of division, are called as a permanent tissue. Just here, what are the meristematic tissue? The plant tissue which is in active state of division is known as a meristematic tissue, or these meristematic tissue are usually considered as a meristems. Okay, and what are permanent tissue? The plant tissue which has not any power of division is called as a permanent tissue. So the tissue which have a power of division or which remain in active state of division, these tissues are the meristematic tissue, while the tissues those do not have a power of a division are called as a permanent tissue. Okay, now this permanent tissue again classified into two types. First one is a simple permanent tissue and another one is a complex permanent tissue. Which are the simple permanent tissues? These simple permanent tissues includes the tissue of parenchyma, then cholenchyma, as well as sclerenchyma. These are simple permanent tissue. And what are the complex tissues? Complex tissues are actually vascular tissues. Okay, what are vascular? Which are vascular tissues? Xylem and phloem. These are the vascular tissues which are actually complex tissue. Okay, so just going in detail about permanent tissue, just say about the meristematic tissue. So important thing about meristematic tissue, that these tissues remain in active state of division throughout their life. Okay, just say about the meristematic tissue. Actually, this meristematic word is formed from the meristos, a Greek word which means divisible. And what is meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissue in the plant tissue that has ability to divide actively throughout its life. So in a total life of this meristematic cell or tissue undergoes in division and division and division. So throughout life, these cells continuously get divided. So meristematic tissue in plant tissue is that has a ability. So the meristematic tissue has an ability to divide actively throughout its life. Okay, plant tissue which is in active state of division is known as a meristematic tissue, and these meristematic tissues commonly called as a meristems. This tissue contains undifferentiated cells. Okay, these are not totally differentiated cells, these are undifferentiated cells which are building blocks of the specialized plant structures. Specialized plant structure, if you see within a plant, different types of the organs are present. Generally we consider the root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits. These are the organs of the plants, and these organs contain specialized or organized cell structure, and these cell structures are produced by means of these undifferentiated cells, that means these meristematic cells. So by the division of these meristematic cells, different types of the cell organized cell structures are produced within a plant, or total the plant structure is formed by means of these meristematic cells. So these meristematic cells are living cells, and they shows varied shapes. What are the which are the varied shapes? They may be oval, they may be isodiametric. So different types of the shapes are present. So this one is a typical meristematic cell. If you see here, this one is a typical meristematic cell. This one is another one meristematic cell. If you see here, these meristematic cells are compactly arranged. These are generally thin wall. These cells do not possess intercellular space. What is intercellular space? Suppose this one, this is a cell, this one is another cell, this one is a third one cell. Suppose such a type of a group of cell forms the tissue. Okay, so this one is a cell, this one is cell, this one cell, this one cell. This is a space. Okay, this space is the intercellular space. So such a type of intercellular space is absent. Okay, this is a intercellular space. Such a type of intercellular space is absent within a meristematic cell. These meristematic cells generally consist of a large nucleus along with the cytoplasm. So just see, what are the meristematic cells? These cells are living cells and they have different shapes, varied shapes. Generally these cells possesses large nucleus devoid of the vacuole. The vacuole is generally absent, or if present, it is very small in size. These cells do not have intercellular space. What is intercellular space? This one is the intercellular space. Okay, so these cells do not contains the these cells do not possesses the intercellular space. The zone where these cells exist is known as a meristem. The zone of the plant where these meristematic cells are present, this region is called as a meristem. So the cells divide actively to form specialized structures like buds, flowers, tips of root, as well as shoot. Shoot means stem. So these cells divide, and what produces? This produces the buds of the leaves. This produces buds of the flowers. This produces tips of the root as well as shoot. These cells help increase in length and girth of the plant. What is length and girth? Suppose this is a plant. If the height of a plant increases, that means the increase in length. And what is the girth? Suppose this one plant, and suppose this one is a girth, the diameter of the stem or root or whatever organ. Increase in diameter, okay, is the girth. So these cells, these meristematic cells, helps to increase the length or height of the plant as well as diameter or girth of the plant. So see, what are the characteristics of the meristematic tissue? These cells generally called as a meristems. The cells of this tissue commonly called as a meristem tissues. So meristem is that part of the plant which contains the meristematic cells. Meristematic tissue has a quality of self-renewal. As single cell is present, this cell divides into two. Again, these cells divides into, each cell divides into again two cells. So these cells, these meristematic cells or this meristematic tissue has quality of self-renewal. What is renewal? To renew new cells production. Okay, every time cell divides, one cell remain identical to the parent cell. Suppose this is a cell and this cell divides and forms such a type of cell. These two cells are produced, okay, but one cell remain as a mother cell, or it is one cell remain as identical to the parent cell. mother cell and another one considered as a daughter cell. This daughter cell develops into a permanent cell. Okay, so every time when meristem cell divide, one cell remain identical to the parent cell. So this parent cell remain as it is, and it continuously again divides and redivides. New cells produce to their lower side or under by side, and other cell perform as a specialized structure. These new cells which are added by the division of these meristem cell may form the permanent cells. Okay, it may produce either parenchyma, sclerenchyma, collenchyma, or it may produce the xylem or phloem. Okay, so every time cell divides, one cell remain identical to the parent cell and other form a specialized structure. They have a small and very few vacuoles. Generally, it is considered that meristem cells or meristematic cells do not possess the vacuole, but they have very small and few vacuoles are present. Meristem cells or meristematic tissue is a living, as this tissue contains the living protoplasm, and generally these cells, the cell walls are very thin. Protoplasm which is present within a cell is very dense. What is protoplasm? Cytoplasm plus cell organelles is a protoplasm, and it is very dense. Meristematic tissue heals the wound of injured plant. This is a characteristic of the meristematic tissue. When any kind of injury, maybe the physical, mechanical or chemical, whatever be the type of wound, the healing of wound takes place by means of these or this one is a characteristic of the meristematic tissue, that the meristematic tissue heals the wound of a injured plant. Cells of the meristematic tissues are young and immature. Of course, these cells are the divisible cells and they maintain their uniqueness, as when these cells divide, one cell remain as a parent cell. So these meristematic cells or meristematic tissue are young, and generally these are immature. These are not mature type of the cell. These cells do not store the food material. Whatever food material is stored within a cell, they are permanent cells. This may be the parenchyma type of the cell. They exhibit very high metabolic activity. Generally, metabolic or synthetic activity is very high among these meristematic tissues, and they possess a single, large and prominent nucleus. Okay, so meristematic tissues or meristematic cells are those cells which shows mitosis. Okay, so what is mitosis? When cell divides and produces same type of a cell, then it is called as a mitosis, and it includes the prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophasic stages. Okay, so these cells generally single, large and prominent nucleus is present. Just see here types of a meristematic tissue. Based on the origin, position and function, there are different types of meristematic tissue. Just see one by one. Based on a origin is the first one, based on position another one, and based on function third one. Okay, based on types of meristematic tissue based on a origin. Okay, so based on origin, meristematic tissue differentiated into three parts. First one, three parts or three types. First one is a promeristem, then primary meristem, and third one is a secondary meristem. Promeristem, primary meristem, and secondary meristem, these are the three types of meristematic tissue based on the origin. Okay, just see about the promeristem. What is promeristem? This promeristem is also called as a primordial meristem. Okay, the earliest and youngest meristematic tissue, and it originates from the embryo. If you see, embryo itself contains the region of plumule and radicle. Okay, what is plumule? Plumule is that region present within an embryo which gives rise to the shoot system, while radicle is the region which is present in the embryo that gives rise to the root system. Okay, where are present these where these points are present? These are present within a embryo. So promeristem originates from the embryo and they are called as a primordial or promeristem. Okay, these are earliest and youngest meristematic tissue and found. Where will be they found? They are present in the root and shoot tip, as the region of plumule and radicle forms the shoot system and root system. These embryonic tissues or promeristem tissues are present at the tip region, apex region of root and shoot. So promeristems are usually present at the shoot tip as well as root tip, and they gives rise to the primary meristem. Okay, then what is primary meristem? Primary meristem originates from the promeristem. These cells or these primary meristem cells divide actively. These are present below the promeristem and forms the permanent tissue. Okay, so what is primary meristem? Primary meristems are produced from the promeristem. These meristems divide actively, and by the division of this primary meristem, permanent tissues are produced, and generally again this primary meristem gives rise to the secondary meristem. Then what is secondary meristem, or which is a third type of meristem? Okay, according to the on the base of the origin. Okay, so secondary meristem, it originates from the primary meristem. So primary meristem gives rise to the secondary meristem and it gives rise to the permanent tissue. So based on the origin, there are three types of the meristem. First one is a promeristem, second one is a primary meristem, and third one is a secondary meristem. Promeristem is also called as a primordial meristem and is present or originated from the embryo, and it gives rise to the primary meristem. What is primary meristem? Primary meristem is that meristem which is produced from the promeristem and produces the secondary meristem. And what is secondary meristem? Secondary meristem which is produced from the primary meristem and gives rise to the permanent tissue. Okay, just see here if the okay, some figures are present here, not given here. That one type. Okay, see this one. So this one is a figure of a meristem. Actually, based on origin, is not given here, but this one is a apical meristem. So this is a apical part, apex part of the stem, and these are the young leaves. These are called as a leaf primordia. Okay, and this is a portion which is called as a promeristem. So the promeristem gives rise to the primary meristem gives rise to the secondary meristem. Just see the types of meristem or meristematic tissue based on their position. Based on the position, these meristems may be the apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. Apical meristems are present at the apical region of the shoot as well as root. Intercalary meristem are generally present at the nodal region and particularly in a monocots. And lateral meristems are generally present at peripheral region, which gives rise to the secondary growth among the plant. So apical meristem which are present at the apical region of shoot and root, they gives rise generally they form the height of the shoot or increase in length of the root. Okay, intercalary meristems are generally present to the at the nodal region, and they are present generally in the monocot. And lateral meristem, whatever increase in diameter or girth of the plant axis takes place, it is due to the activity of this lateral meristem. So based on the position, there are three types of the meristem. So the apical meristem, here the apical meristem will be present at this position, or it may be present at this position, at the tip of shoot or at the tip of root. Okay, this is the region. It will again consider as a apical meristem. Where the intercalary meristems are present, intercalary meristems are generally present at the nodal region. Okay, but strictly in the monocot. And lateral meristems are present at the peripheral side. Okay, just see, this one is a terminal bud, and this terminal bud contains the shoot apical meristem. So this one portion, and if you take a longitudinal section of this one, then this one is a position of a apical meristem. Okay, here is a position of a lateral meristem. Which one? This one. This is a lateral meristem. See, this one is a region of a internode. Okay, and this one region, this one is a vascular cambium. Which one? This one is a vascular cambium in a reddish color. Lateral meristem is present in this one region. Okay, this one and this one. Generally, lateral meristem is of two types. One is a vascular meristem or a vascular cambium and cork cambium. Vascular cambium generally produces the secondary growth in the stellar region, while cork cambium produces secondary growth in a extrastellar region. Okay, so secondary xylem and secondary phloem are produced from the vascular cambium, while cork cells and secondary cortical cells are produced by means of a cork cambium. So this is a lateral meristem, and again apical meristem will be present here, the shoot apex, root apex. So this one is a root cap, and this is the region, thick region which consists of a root apical meristem. Okay, so this one will be the root cap, the tip region of the root, and below the root cap a thick region which is present in the root. Generally during the study of mitosis, when you take onion root tip, root cap region is generally discarded, and a thick white colored or somewhat dark colored region which is present within a root, generally we take for the maceration purpose during the study of mitosis. So this one region is a apical meristem. And lateral meristem, intercalary meristem, this one region, this is the region where intercalary meristem is present, and this meristem is helpful in a elongation purpose or production of any type of a bird. It may be the vegetative bird, or maybe the floral bird, or these leaves are generally produced from the leaves. Here the zone of intercalary meristem is very essential. One more thing, within a monocot, lateral meristem remains absent. Okay, lateral meristem is absent in a monocot stem. If you see, within a dicot, cambium is present, and due to the presence of a cambium, generally it is said that secondary growth takes place within a dicot. But secondary growth is absent in monocot. Why it is absent? Because the lateral meristem or vascular cambium or cork cambium, which are the part of the lateral meristem, these are absent within a monocot, and that's why the secondary growth is absent in a monocot. As secondary growth is absent in monocot, here another one type of a lateral meristem is present, and that meristem is called as a intercalary meristem. So first one is a apical meristem, and another one is a intercalary meristem. These are present within a monocot, while apical meristem and lateral meristems are present within a dicot. Just see about the apical meristem. Okay, these are the types based on the position, types of a meristematic tissue based on the position: apical, intercalary, and lateral. Apical meristem, these are present at the tips of the root and shoot and help in increase of the height of the plant. Whatever height of a plant occur, it is because of the presence of this apical meristem, or whatever increase in length of a root occur, it is due to the presence of apical meristem. So these are present at the tip region of the shoot and root and help in increase in height of the plant. Cell division facilitates the growth of the cell in root and shoot. Of course, shoot and root increase or growth of the cells in the shoot and root occurs due to the activity of apical meristem, and this apical meristem is divided into promeristem zone. Okay, that means primary the first one which contains the actively dividing cell, this one promeristem, this one. So apical meristem region consists of promeristem zone, which contains actively dividing cell, meristematic zone, which contains the protoderm and procambium, and ground meristem. We will see about the protoderm, procambium, and ground meristem later on. Just see the second one type is the intercalary meristem, which is usually present within a monocot stem. It is located in the leaves and internodes at the intercalary position. Okay, and these helps in increase the length of the internode. What is internode? Suppose this one is a stem. This is the region which is called as a nodal region. From the nodal region, generally leaves are produced. So the leaves originates at generally the nodal region. Whatever buds present here, these are present at the nodal region, and the region between the node is called as a internode. So the intercalary meristem help increase in length of the internode. It is found in grasses, monocot and pines. Okay, grasses are the best example of the monocot. Pine, these are generally considered as a gymnosperm. It is a part of a apical meristem and adds to the height of the plant. So whatever height of the plant takes place in a monocot, it is a by the intercalary meristem, and it is a part of a apical meristem. Okay, it is generally considered as an intercalary meristem, but it is a part of a apical meristem which is present at the apical region of the shoot and root. Okay, and last one type which is called as a lateral meristem. It is located in the stem and root on the lateral side. So suppose this one is the stem or root, and this will be the position of the lateral meristem. Okay, it is located in the stem and root on the lateral side. These are the lateral meristem. Vascular cambium and cork cambium are the two types of the meristem. We will later on see about the what are the vascular cambium, what are the cork cambium, but vascular cambium are generally present within a vascular bundle. Okay, suppose this one is a phloem, this one is a xylem. This xylem and phloem is separated by means of a zone of meristematic tissue which is a lateral meristem, and this one is called as a cambium, and this cambium, as it is present within a vascular bundle, therefore called as a vascular cambium. Okay, and another one cambium which is present in the protoderm, in the periderm, which is called as a cork cambium, which bring about extrastellar secondary growth. These cells or lateral meristems divide periclinally or radially, periclinally and anticlinally. Parallel to the periphery means periclinally. Okay, and radially means this one is a radius. Okay, radii. This one is a diameter. This one is a diameter, and half of the diameter will be the radius. So the division that takes place radiusly, then it is called as a radially. So these lateral meristem divide periclinally or radially and gives rise to the secondary permanent tissues. Okay, and the third one, types of a meristematic tissue based on their function. So based on function, there are three types again: protoderm, procambium and ground meristem. So where is protoderm, where is ground meristem, and where is procambium? See here, this one is a figure. So this one is a shoot meristem, this is a protoderm, this is a ground meristem, and the central one is a procambium meristem. So just see, these are actually the type of a meristematic tissue based on the function, what type of tissue generally they produce. Okay, protoderm, it is outermost plant tissue and forms the epidermis. So epidermis is produced by means of the protoderm tissue. It protects the plant from the mechanical shocks or whatever mechanical protection is given to the plant, it is by the protoderm. So it is a outermost plant tissue and forms the epidermis. Then what is protoderm? Here if you see, this one is a protoderm that gives rise to the epidermal tissue system. What is procambium? It is a innermost tissue. This one is a procambium. This one reddish colored part, this one is a procambium. It is the innermost tissue that gives rise to the vascular tissue system or the xylem and phloem, and it helps in transport of water and nutrient to different parts of the plant. Xylem actually involved in a transport of water, while phloem is involved in a transport of the food material within a tissue. And third one is a ground meristem. This one is a ground meristem. So outermost one is a apical meristem, innermost one is a procambium meristem, and the middle one is a ground meristem. This ground meristem generally forms the region of cortex and pith. Okay, cortex, pith and pericycle, and the cells are large and thick wall. What are the functions of the meristematic tissue? Meristematic tissues or meristems are actively dividing tissues. They are responsible for the elongation as well as thickness of the plant. All new organs and their growth occur by the division of a meristematic tissue. So these are the certain functions. Just see types of meristematic tissue based on function: protoderm, which forms the epidermis; procambium, which forms the procambium, which forms the vascular tissue system; and ground meristem that gives rise to the pericycle, pericycle, then cortex region and pith region. Then based on the position, there are three types: apical meristem, which are present at the apical region; intercalary meristem, generally it brings about elongation of the internode and present in the monocot; while lateral meristem, these are generally present at the peripheral region. Vascular cambium and cork cambium are the example of a lateral meristem. And based on the origin, there are three types: promeristem, primary meristem and secondary meristem. Promeristem, these are primary meristem or primordial meristem, which are generally present from the embryo, that gives rise to the primary meristem. Primary meristems gives rise to the secondary meristem, and secondary meristem gives rise to the permanent cells. So this one is about the meristematic tissue system. Next one type we will see in the next one video. Till then, goodbye.